The Caterpillar Tanaha Hills Demonstration and Learning Center in the Sonoran Desert of Green Valley, Arizona, is the setting for Caterpillar's newest CAT Trials video. In soccer, the primary rule is that you use no hands, as it is primarily with autonomous equipment. Thus, the title of CAT Trial 12, No Hands. The idea of using a soccer theme was born in a hotel room during a site visit, with the CAT Trials production team throwing out ideas.
And they just kept throwing ideas at me, and I kept saying no, 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 and then finally the soccer idea was thrown out, and we all kind of stopped for a second, and we're like, okay. We talked about it, explored it, and a little bit later somebody else threw out the comment of, well, you don't use hands on autonomy, you don't use hands on a soccer field. And that's really when we felt this was the perfect concept to move forward, because it's all about precision, safety, productivity. And that's really what a soccer player does, to move that ball down the field. And same thing an autonomous product does, to move payload down a mine site.
There are 3 criteria in making a Caterpillar trial. First, they are to highlight a product, service, or technology. Second, address the business needs of customers. And third, it has to have a relevant pop culture appeal that is timeless. It's quite the creative undertaking, but perhaps not as creative as the engineering involved in designing an autonomous piece of heavy equipment.
You think I have the creative job. I look at our engineers, the cool stuff they do, bringing an autonomous product to life. I mean, that makes me, what I do, pale in comparison. So I'm lucky, but I'm super lucky that I have an internal agency that also helps me bring these ideas to life. And I have a leadership team that will allow me to throw out the craziest idea as long as it's driving what our customers need at the end of the day.
CAT Trial 12 has 4-time FIFA World Cup participant DeMarcus Beasley dribbling a ball through an obstacle course that just happens to include dining tables elegantly set with CAT equipment, during which he performs some not-so-easy tricks.
Definitely the chip into the sunroof. That's going to be the hardest one. I think I tried about 10 times already, haven't got one yet.
Simultaneously, an autonomous CAT 794 mining truck winds its way through a similar course. After some fancy footwork from Beasley, at the end of the course he goes for the big shot, kicking the ball into the bed of the 794 as it reaches the end of its course. The truck empties the ball into the goal, which has been put in place by Caterpillar's yet-to-be-released semi-autonomous 299D3 CTL. The cameras are everywhere, on the ground, in the sky, in the equipment. Hour after hour, scenes and shots are repeated to get the perfect take. Adding to the difficulty, gusting winds that were blowing the entire day of the shoot. Caterpillar Autonomy goes back to the late 1980s. The company started experimenting with GPS in the mid-90s. It showcased 2 autonomous quarry trucks at the 1996 Mine Expo and began commercializing products in 2013 with the credo that autonomous equipment has to be consistent, reliable, and safe.
About the 8-9 years this program has been running, we've covered about 145 million kilometers, or over 90 million miles, and we'd have 0 lost time injuries with autonomy. That's amazing. And in that time, we moved about 4 billion metric tons of material in that amount of time. And when you look at back at 2013, we only had about 6 trucks. Now we're over 500. You can see how quickly the program or autonomy has taken off, because customers see the safety and the productivity, the efficiency, all that automation brings around. And this CAT trial has definitely proved that.
The autonomous 794 can actually be accessed through this station in the CAT Command Center. All it takes is the click of a mouse for Joel here to get the truck rolling. But keep in mind, there's a lot more to autonomy than that.
I think that probably the biggest misconception is people think you just hit the go button and the trucks do everything. There's no more people involved. And now that's completely the opposite. So when we talk about automation to our customers, we don't say technology. We focus on the people, the processes, and the technology. And that kind of showcases with all of our customers, right? there's different type of productivity levels at each customers and how they're integrating with their people and processes to make it more efficient. And it's a journey, it takes time. It's not something you just buy off the shelf, hit go, and it solves all your problems.
As mentioned, the other piece of equipment CAT Trial 12 highlights is the semi-autonomous 299D3 CTL.
Now, although this autonomous CTL is only playing a minor role in Trial 12, it did have to go through some major developments to get here.
It began with a solar farm looking for equipment that could perform repetitive work.
So what they were looking at is a way to do semi-autonomy or autonomy in order to be able to have their labor work on the more complex part of building out a solar farm. And so they were looking at having us be able to provide a solution in there. We have some of the building blocks technology into that. We've been adding kind of driver assist type solutions where we've got a lot of new technology. So even on the CTL, for example, the self-level feature, if you're using forks, for example, it's the same technology we're using in autonomy. And so I think you're seeing the journey happen, even though people probably don't fully notice it with grade control systems, with remote control. And so while everyone's really excited to see autonomy, I think all the building blocks have been there and continue to grow. And so as autonomy really helped just bring all that together to maximize the return on investment for a customer with really what the machine can do to perform the task that a customer needs to get the job done.
After shooting wrapped up, CAT Trial 12 No Hands went through 2 months of post-production, including the selection of a custom music score. It was exhilarating to see Beasley, the 794, and the 299D3 CTL working in tandem. It took Beasley a few tries to kick the ball into the bed of the mining truck. Fortunately, the equipment never made a mistake and was there for him every single time. And for me, that is what makes CAT Trial 12 a celebration of autonomous equipment.